Through the magic of video, I've now added a little bit more code. You see here I've created another variable, and I've assigned it the return value from the mysql select database. Again, I assume you've done all my previous videos on PHP functions and you understand return values and arguments and so forth. Anyhow, so I've created this handle here, my_database, just so that I can check whether or not we've actually found, well, whether or not PHP has actually found a particular database. So you notice I've changed it to killers, and of course the actual database is called killers, so this doesn't exist. So again, use the same familiar method, if not my database, right? Reference to this. Die could not find database. Spit out the error, please, right? mysql_error function in PHP gives us the last error that PHP has thrown back at us. So let's take a look at that. And so first line, connected successfully to the database server, but could find database, unknown database killer. So that's the MySQL error that we got. Let me do a little correction. Could not find database. So let's see that. So here's echo connected successfully. Let's change. Let me change this to make this painfully clear. There we go. And let's refresh. All right, connected successfully to the MySQL server. So we've done that. Could not find database. Unknown database killers. So let's go back to our code. We go, oops, we made a mistake. Call killer, save that, reload. There we go. So we know that the second die function was not fired off. And we know that because we don't got that error and because the rest of our page was printed out, right? Die is not fired off. So all this stuff is printed out. So there you go. You can start to see a couple of things here. First, we've learned about the few functions in the MySQL package, if you will, in the PHP libraries. We see we have the connect function, the error function, the select db function, and we have the close function, mysql_close, mysql_select. Yeah. Anyway, you also seen how by creating handles, we can use the information that these functions kick back to us to put them in if statements to control the flow of the scripts, right? And it's also a great way to debug things, right? So that you can check whether or not where your problems were, because you might do a little typo here and you might not see it, but if you just use this, then you will see it. This is the old procedural way of doing things. If you recall in the previous video, that there are several ways that you can use to connect to MySQL. This is the easiest to understand for beginners because this is the procedural way and it's quick and dirty, but it's not very elegant. There's more advanced ways of doing this, like PHP PDO, which is an object-oriented way, and a lot of this stuff is much more neatly handled. So it's just becomes a lot easier to work with as the projects get more complex. But anyhow, don't let that worry you for now. This is quite good and very usable and suitable for many PHP projects. So I just wanted to point it out anyway. So all right, so we've connected to the server. We've caught any errors. We selected our database. We catch any errors, and then we close the database here. Next thing to do is actually use some SQL to communicate with the MySQL database. So what the process really is inserting SQL code in our PHP scripts, and then PHP will handle the information flying to and from the MySQL database.